and I know, and they know, 'cause we go all in, and I know, they know, 'cause we go all in.
Woo wee! Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the newest edition of what you've been missing. You're now listening to the All Dressed Up Podcast, episode 124. Lord help me, Jesus. It's your boy K Dizzle DC, and to my right, your left. I still don't know. I still can't get this right, man. Look, tell them who you are, man.
Man, it's still your man, Have Streams, man. If you've been under a rug, if you forgot, if you haven't seen us in a while, it's the All Dressed Up Podcast, man. Your favorite duo. Good to see you, K Dizzle DC, man. It's happy to be back. I mean, it's good to be back. I'm happy to be back.
It's
I
always
should
great to
say.
be back, man. Just like we never left. Feels like we never left. Let me switch this up.
Another Sunday night where we do it live, where you can come through and interact. It's one of those podcasts. It's a little different. You don't got to be afraid to come talk your shit. We always have a good time. Let's do it, man.
How was your week been? How was your couple weeks?
Wow, man, I tell you, man, a lot's going on, man, in Have Streams world, man. If you haven't heard, I got a little man on the way. I'm excited about that. I gotta say, man, to break the news to everybody. Been working like crazy, man. Working like crazy. Just spending time with the family. Can't really say it's been too eventful, but just grinding, man. Looking forward to putting the Climbback series back in action. Got some episodes lined up. But yeah, how you been, bro? How's the
Shout out
family?
to shout out to the procreation, my brother.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
They always say practice is the best part, but no, shout out to you, man. Just same thing, maintaining, getting everybody ready. We're gonna get into it's back to school season,
No
high
doubt, no doubt.
who's and the what's, and everybody looking crazy. Some people looking fabulous, some people looking ridiculous. But more, I want to let me do this really quick, okay? Because I can't go any further or talk about anything without having a conversation about my boy, man, my boy. Um, I appreciate you guys tuning in. So we do this because we love it, man, and that's why we're here. But we just had recently one of the guys that we've done a lot of work with. We've done some partnerships and we've done some shows with. One guy I've known for many, many years, part of the Loading Snacks crew. Shout out to Loading Snacks crew. Shout out to Sal for coming in early. But let me just say we lost one of the members of our community, London Sin Fog of the Loading Snacks crew, passed away suddenly and unexpected. And we just want to give our love and sympathies and celebrate his life and his family. And again, when we talk about life, when we talk about it, comes in limited quantities, these minutes and these days and hours. We kind of only talk about it once we've lost somebody, right? Um, and so thinking about London, man, and like I said, I grew up, we went to the same high school. And so being that I'm 44 now, that's a long time to know somebody. Definitely a long time to know somebody and have a good friendship. You got to remember how short life can be, and you don't know when your time is your time. And so you just got to make the most of it. Makes the family, the friendships, the love, and create great relationships. And more importantly than that, just memories. And shout out to Gage, shout out to Jokes, man. They do a great thing in the community as far as being being present at all the cons, being present and sharing their knowledge and information in that community. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes and just celebrate his life and talk about how important he was to Lotus Snacks, but not just that, his family, his friends, and partners with ADU podcast. So yeah, that's all I wanted to do really quick, man, because I love that dude, him, his brother, and I knew his mom as well. And shout out to the family, man. And may we celebrate life later this week and enjoy the memories and carry that on with us in the near future, man. So, if you want to donate to a loving goodbye for them, I'll make sure to put the link in the chat. It's coming up this Friday, just to send off, man, and make sure that we all come together, share great stories, good memories, and also make it an awesome one. If you want to donate and be a part of that, there's the link in the chat. Tap on it, and whatever you can give, as you can give. If you can't, we understand. But more importantly, man, I thank you for your patronage, your contributions, and more importantly, your voice, your ears, and your time to be heard. So I know I got a little long winded, but he's a really good friend of mine, and we're definitely going to miss him. Definitely going to miss him. So, you know, half you can say what you want. If you have anything, it's all good. I'm
Yeah, man. I mean, well said, Kato's of DC. You know, love goes out to the Loading Snacks crew. When I was scrolling down IG and I saw this post, I was shocked, man. You know, we collaborated a few times with Loading Snacks and Sin London Fog was always great to work with. So, you know, definitely sad news. It just reminds you that life is short, but you know, I know he was loved and much love goes out to, like I said, the Loading Snacks crew, London's family and friends, man. My condolences go out to him and gonna pray for him, man. Rest in peace. But tough news, man.
indeed, man. So I'll link up with those guys later this week. But again, just a quick minute. I just want to give reverence where reverence is due. And so, but yeah, man. Yeah, on the lighter notes and evener tones, Sal's in the building. I know he's chomping at the bit. And
Sal's ready to go, man.
he is
Sal's
ready.
ready to get his shit going, man.
What?
So let me tell you guys something, right, before we get started. Because it's been a while, right? And I know football season just crept up on us, and it was cool because a lot of us just been busy, right? It seemed like everybody just been busy. It hasn't been one of those off seasons to where we're all kind of preparing each and every day. Like we catching the news, but I think all of us have been kind of consumed in our lives. But I'm in the office and I got a customer that comes in, K Dizzle,
Mhm.
and I swear his hat just stopped me in my tracks because he had the biggest damn bird protruding off his hat. I don't know what Eagles hat this was, but I said, "Go birds!" and he thought he had a friend, but I had to tell him, "Nah, you know, I'm just gonna give you a nod of respect. Y'all the champs, but we coming for y'all, man. I'm a Commanders fan." Had to let it be known, but I
Right.
know you're excited, man. Don't
Delu-
let me stop you.
no, all Commanders fans have delusions of grandeur. But look, Sal, Sal has been. We are in a group chat, and Sal has been the Howie champion. Now, if we took it back 2 seasons, just 2 seasons. I don't know. Sal would have been saying the same thing. He'd
Who
be
was the
like,
biggest?
"Get-
Who was the biggest Howie hater? And enough said, wasn't it Sal at
it
one
was
point?
Sal. Get Howie out of here. Get
Yeah,
Nick out of here. Get Hurts out of here. I mean,
a
everybody.
lot of praise for my man Howie out there in Philly,
He's
man.
throwing away the kitchen sink. However, that chip is home, and now he's talking all of it. Let's go. Howie,
Happy
Howie.
Howie. Hey man, if you guys want to check out I'm a good NFL, football podcast, enough said. We collaborated with them a lot of times over the past, man. Those are our fellas, man. Check them out. They got an episode coming up next Sunday at 11 o'clock on YouTube, man. The Enough Said podcast. Sal, my man says, "Hef, let's talk about your boy B Rob. Come on, Kermit. You're the quarterback the episode tonight. Are we going into the NFL first? You go ahead and start it off.
We're going into the NFL first. Let's
All
get
right,
this
do
out
your
the way.
thing, big dog.
Let's get this out the way. Let's do a quick NFC East checkup because there's
Okay,
been a lot of
okay.
transactions and transitions going on. First of all, I need to know if they've paid Terry McLaurin yet. We need to have that discussion. No?
I don't think they have to make any move to pay Terry McLaurin. You know what's interesting? South says, let's talk about your boy B Rob. He's gone. Fan favorite. Nobody ever likes to see a fan favorite get traded. He went to an NFC rival, the 49ers. That's another issue. I'm not really sure that that's a great thing, but it tells me that B Rob he might not have a lot left in his tank, man, after those injuries. So The Commanders are definitely going running back by committee. They drafted the boy Crockett. He's supposed to be leading the backfield. But as far as Terry, if they don't pay him, it's going to be a tough year. They got to get the contract handled. They got to get it figured out. I mean, he's just too big in their offense. It's not like they can just change their identity in Jaden Daniels' second year. They just got Debo Samuel. It's not time to be crazy now. Let's get this handled. Whatever they got to do, cut the check. And I think it's leverage. I think he pulled up at the right time. He had the best season of his career, and it should have get out the pot for Adam Peters, man.
Already.
When
Wait a
it
minute.
comes to
He
Terry
already won
McLaurin,
a
when it comes to Terry,
championship?
when it comes to Terry McLaurin, it should have get off the pot because you got to pay
Uh,
him. You got to pay him now. You got to move on. It is what it is. Like I
if
don't think Terry's gonna walk back in like, yeah, I was playing around. I wait for y'all to
if
come
you
up with
don't
something.
pay him, you got to lean on Debo Samuel. Who else you got after that?
It's gonna be a rough one. I mean, Noah Brown's not a big number three. They drafted what's his name? Jalen. Forgive me for not remembering the young man's last name, but he's looking really good in the preseason. Jalen something. But nah, I mean Terry McLaurin and Zach Ertz are the two most pivotal pieces besides Laramie Tunsil. They picked up the big time left tackle. The Commanders are coming forward this year. I don't see why they wouldn't give Terry the money. What's up, baby? What's up, Shanae? I don't see why they wouldn't have paid Terry by now after they just got the left tackle, showing up some more protection for Jaden Daniels. I just see a contract coming
So,
very soon.
so who this is? Hold on, I got to check on how old this is. But we're thinking about Luke McCaffrey. It's
Luke
showing.
McCaffrey's got to have a good year this year. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
it's
it's
showing.
his year.
I got to check how long this is. ESPN, but KJ Osborne,
Yeah.
Jacoby Jones is back.
Former
That's the second
Viking.
one. You talking about Ja'Cory Brooks is the one. River Kirk.
No, 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 not Corey Brooks. His name's Jalen. It's Jaylin.
Okay, yeah, I see him. Jalen Lane, Chris Moore,
Jalen
Jalen
Lane.
Sanders.
That's the
Gotcha.
guy you
Jalen
want to
Lane.
watch out for. Jalen Lane is the guy that's making some noise besides Trey Amos. Not to make it a whole commander segment, but
No. That's
it
why.
look every,
That's why I left this up here because for whatever reason, Sal wants to go right to the Dallas Cowboys.
let's take it right to the Bammers, man. Let's go right to the Dallas Cowboy Bammers. Diggs and Parsons mostly likely out for the boys. Do you think so?
Diggs and Parsons most likely out. I don't know. I saw Parsons was taking a nap on the last preseason game on the table.
I saw your man showing up. I think somewhere eating nachos, man. Michael Parsons is a wild boy. He's not going anywhere. I think he's going to get his contract done too. As far as Diggs isn't that good anyway, in my opinion.
Oh wow.
In my opinion, Diggs is just overrated. Sam Howell getting traded to
Yeah.
go be an Eagles backup. What's up with that?
Sam Howell. Well, I'll tell you what, Tanner McKee got hurt, which is the next best thing that we had in there. That could run the offense. There's no more Kenny Pickett. He's in Cleveland.
Right.
ETR is a project anywhere he goes because he's never had
In Arizona in the building.
never had consistent coaching. And so we definitely had to go out and get an experienced backup QB who was cheap, who had experience playing definitely in the NFC East, and hopefully could step in and do something.
And he's gonna be happily a backup in Philly to have a chance to win a chip. Man, I appreciate you, Arizona. Big shout out to my guy, Arizona, one of the truest day ones to the All Dressed Up podcast. And look, if you want to join us live tonight, K Dizzle, put the number up, please, whenever you get a chance.
For shizzle.
We talking NFC East, man. The Commanders, not really lighting the world up in the preseason, doing a lot of half step in the group chats, giving me a hard time. I'm not really feeling the shit either, fellas. I know what you're saying, sir. I'm not off the hook. A lot of people are saying Adam Peters is bullshitting. He hasn't had the most glorious off season, but I think the draft went well. I really want to see what this offensive line does. If this offensive line can play anywhere close to a Philly type offensive line, that's gonna make me feel seriously. That's gonna make me feel like we got a chance, man. You got to get that offensive line, really consistent, and that's what you guys did, man. Y'all, Bama, Philadelphia Eagles had a really good offensive and defensive line.
For sure. That is undeniable. So look, let's get to the last team we're gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about the Eagles because
I don't care about the Cowboys either. I mean, Michael Parsons is what he is, man. If they re-sign him, so what? I can't wait to see Dak Prescott, man, because he got that big contract. He's got your boy from Pittsburgh over there, that crazy motherfucker that they just got. And then he's got your boy CD Lamb. They really think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm excited because this is the best time of the year. You know what? Let's take a moment before we move on. Let's have some fun. Because
Oh,
you know what, you know why I'm laughing. All y'all Cowboy fans that are watching right now, that y'all are getting a little excited.
let me put the phone number back up.
And they're getting a little excited. So we can't just shit on them because this is the time they're gonna talk a lot of shit, K Dizzle. They're gonna win a game here, there. You know, who they got the first week? They got Philly, right?
Yes.
I mean, all right, let's talk about that. We gotta talk about it real quick.
Do we gotta talk about
We'll
that?
talk about it more on the next episode. But does the Dallas Cowboys, Sal, you gotta answer in the chat. Does the Dallas Cowboys have any remote chance in hell to beat Philadelphia in the first week?
Does
Do
it?
y'all, does the Cowboys got any chance in hell to beat Philadelphia in the first week?
Who? I hope you're not answering. You waiting for the chat to answer that? That's absolutely.
Imagine if the Cowboys found a way to win that game. You're smiling because it's still funny to just think about. I couldn't. I would laugh either way. It's going to be hilarious, man.
If you listen to this audio only, I wish you could see my face when he said that because I can't
Shit
even.
would be
The front of my
hilarious,
forehead
man.
now is in peril because I can't understand
My
how you
man Big will have
brought his lips to say
a field day if they come out and they beat y'all week one. The Cowboy fans are gonna go crazy. I asked Dre, "What's up, Mom?"
that.
Patty Hef in the chat, but yeah, man, the Cowboy fans will go crazy. Kate doesn't, you know it. If they beat the Eagles week one, and you're laughing because it's a funny storyline. The NFL schedule is incredible, man. You put the paper champ America's team, Dallas Cowboys. Look, coming off a preseason with all this turmoil, Jerry Jones looking senile as ever. No disrespect to old people, but Jerry Jones has lost his fucking mind. He's lost his mind. And he's sitting there playing games with Michael Parsons. Like, he don't give a shit about paying this dude. Hef, you got a better chance of a sock not showing up in your bed at the motel. Man, look, don't make me remember that story, Sal, when that sock appeared in Brooklyn, man. It was Brooklyn. But look, if they beat the Eagles, I'm gonna cry laughing. And if the Eagles blow the Cowboys out, I'm crying tears. I'm still
Stop.
gonna enjoy. It's gonna be a great week one. And then here's the thing: the Commanders play the Giants. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost. I really wouldn't.
And look, well, let's talk about the New York Football Giants, right? Who is the starting quarterback there?
So look,
Who?
I saw a clip the other day where Jackson Dart put the W up and Jameis Winston pretended like he was gonna bite his finger. This quarterback
Yeah.
room is a group of some characters, bro. Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's looking like the future. Everybody's jumping on his bandwagon, but to start the season, it's going to be Russ. They got to give Russ his fair chance.
Yeah.
That makes me know that there could be a possibility, man. The Commanders lost to Russell Wilson last year when he played for Pittsburgh, last minute, last drive of the game. Whenever you got Russell Wilson out there, love him or hate him, gives that team a chance to win. And we're the type of team that will play down to a conference team, a divisional team like the Giants in week one. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I still think Commanders are busting that ass, man. The NFC East is going to be Philly, Washington this year. I think Dallas is going to be, right around an 8-game winning season and
Mhm.
just win enough games to stay upset and pissed at the rest of the league.
Look, we running over. We running hella over. So look, I want to talk. We can talk about John Wall, really quick. Okay.
Okay.
John Wall retires. Okay. Now there is conversation about saying that John Wall is one of the best Washington Wizards that ever played for the Washington Wizards.
Okay.
Gotta
What's wrong with that statement?
they're thinking about retiring his jersey, his number 2 there.
Where at the What's the
For
club
the
he used to
Wizards.
always go to? They gonna retire his jersey at the club. What was the club? John
At
Wall was
Love.
always at. Not
No, he
Love.
was there when it was Dream.
The
So
other jump, man. Man, Rose Bar. They gonna
Rose Bar.
retire John Wall's
Yeah, Rose
jersey at
Bar.
Rose Bar.
He was there heavy. Rose Bar, Ibiza. Is he one of the best Wizards to ever play for
Yeah,
Washington?
I mean, it's the best of what? You know? The best of what, man? It's a terrible organization, terrible franchise, and I wasted 30 years being a fan for that team.
I'm
So,
sure.
me personally, K Dizzle, it would come down to like favorites. Like I was watching the Wizards since the late 80s, 90s. So it's like, Rod Strickland for me.
Okay.
Young Rasheed Wallace before he ended up being a big time. Chris Webber for me, young Chris
Okay.
Webber. Even though they didn't have a long career in Washington, those were like fan favorite, great players.
Right.
If you want to talk about a player who had a long run for the Wizards team with all their statistics, it was John Wall. John Wall had a strong, 10-year run,
Mm-hmm.
won a slam dunk contest, you know what I'm saying? Did some things, man, that brought some fun to Washington, put them in the playoffs at least half his career, got injured a lot in the end, but was a fan favorite too, put fans in the seats. He was exciting, one of the fastest two-way guards in the NBA. Could take it, from one cup to the other very quickly. And I mean, the guy was fun to watch, man. Me personally, I was more of a fan of Gilbert Arenas, but I would still say, as far as a career Wizard, you gotta give it to John Wall.
Yeah, I will give you that. I mean, there's a lot of Wizard players that came through. Like you said, Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, that era was
We had a
something.
lot of people that just stopped through and got a check and rolled
Rod
out.
Strickland, Richard Jefferson stopped through for a little bit and played strong. You
Paul
got
Pierce, man. We got Karan Butler, Paul
right, yeah,
Pierce.
you got to give Agent Zero his due.
Yeah.
Agent Zero definitely his due.
You
Uh,
said Richard Jefferson, you might be thinking about your boy Richard Hamilton.
who?
Richard Hamilton.
Yeah, Rich Hamilton was there. Richard
Richard
Hamilton was
Hamilton had
there.
a nice career out of UConn for Washington. You can't really
Uh-huh.
take much away from him. I'd probably say Richard Hamilton second to John Wall.
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at his stats in Washington,
we had a lot of people stop through. You ain't gonna lie. We played a lot of old players. We play a lot of old players there, but he is in there. He is in there. And so, shout out to John Wall and the famous career. I think for the city, he's more famous of being in the city, being at the clubs and at the bars and stuff.
yeah. But
Because
nah,
that's
but definitely a great point guard though,
definitely a great point guard. So
man.
look, let me pivot a little bit. Got to throw Joel Embiid in there. Stop it.
Throw him in where?
Throw him away.
And
Yeah,
and
Basura.
better throw him in someplace with some cushions.
I mean, he's almost as bad as Ben Simmons right now.
They
That's
said I saw a stat. They said that somebody had more games in their career than Joel Embiid. I think they only played for like 2 seasons. But Joel Embiid, man, I think he's one of those players where the league's putting way more pressure on him than he probably deserves. He's just not that guy, man. Just not that guy, man.
So I want to go on this because I know this is going to be controversial, and this is the one that I just sent you earlier that you didn't see, and we're going to play a little bit of it. So, if you are under a rock, the United States of America is going to look crazy, and I found this. I found this reporting. I'm gonna put the ticker up so we can talk about it. There's a new housing development in Arkansas that requires proof that applicants are white in order to buy a home there. Yes, you heard me right. I did not stutter. You have to be white in order to live here, right? I'm not making this up. I'm gonna play some of the clip. I already know it's gonna get some people riled up in here, but let me play it right quick. You see that?
Yeah.
All right.
Could we be seeing a return to segregation deep in Arkansas's Ozark Mountains? The New York Times reports on a new housing development that has stringent criteria. You must be white to live there. And its founders feel confident that in the current political climate, they'll win any legal challenges that come their way. One of those founders sat down with Sky News to discuss his motivation.
We are forced to accept people into our neighborhoods, into our businesses, and into our lives who won't share our background, who won't share many of our cultural priors, even moral priors. So we're taking control of that situation and creating an environment where my kids can celebrate their identity and not have it, threatened from outside.
Joining us now with her reporting, the New York Times' Deborah Kamen. Deborah, thank you so much for joining us. So let me just ask a basic question. They want white people and only white people in their neighborhood. So are they screening applicants somehow?
Oh, very much so. They require applicants to fill out a questionnaire based on their heritage. And oftentimes they also require photographs, not just of themselves, but also of family members. And if people want to live there, then they come in person and they have an interview. And they've actually rejected people who they said they did not believe were sufficiently white.
Sufficiently white? What does that mean?
That is a very good question. I asked them the exact same question. What does it mean to be sufficiently white? The answer that I received was they did not seem like a white person. They did not present like a white person. There seems to be not a very specific way they can nail down what it is to be sufficiently white. But if they feel that you don't fit the criteria, you are not allowed to live in this community.
Oh, Tay.
There's so many places to go here and so many places that you can start. Like for one, it's Arkansas. We're talking about Arkansas, these flyover states to where I would hope that I'd never have to ever participate in or blessed with my presence, man. But what's wild is that there's still places in the United States of America that you can have a white only town or any type of only town. And then the crazy part is you got to test to be sufficiently white to get approved. They got applicants. And where were they interviewing at? In the woods somewhere? Where was the interview being taking place? But at least I know, what the town's about. Hopefully it's not going to be violent, if the wrong person crosses their path. We can just keep it moving and go to another town. But that shit is wild, man. And then you got to show pictures that you really white. You got white cousins, white mom, and you got to have, I'm sure, raisins in your potato salad and shit. You got to get approved.
You got to get approved, and you have to be quote unquote white enough to live in this development. Now,
Sufficiently white.
Now, like here we go. Black people make up 15%.
She must be talking about Arkansas
population there. I think black people make up, 7.5% population.
Well, they make up 0% in that neighborhood.
Well, so this raises a lot of flags for many, many reasons. And this is part of the situation where we talk about where people don't believe. I don't know if you saw this, but Amanda Seales just sat down on Jubilee and did it surrounded with 20 black conservatives.
Oh, she did? I didn't see hers.
Yeah, so you got to check that out. But more importantly, we don't like to get political here. We're going to talk about some stuff, but we usually stay away from the politics. But this is important because of this is.
Yeah, but this is to me stuff like this isn't political. This is just
political at all.
Common sense.
This is common sense, and this is just prejudice on display for the entire world to see. And they're saying it's okay for us to be prejudiced because if you don't believe in the things that we believe in, then you can't be a part of our community. And
but then he said, when you look, not to cut you off, but when you really if you try to take it serious, right? And you try to take what they're trying to do serious, his reasoning behind it is so his children wouldn't have their morals attacked. And it's like, what makes them feel like they can't go and live out their morals and their beliefs amongst everybody else? Like they're basically saying that they they rather like create almost like a force field to where people can't enter their ecosystems or their school systems or their neighborhoods because of, I guess, it being tainted. Like that's the whole ideology behind it. But it's like, who owns these properties? Who owns this land? Can you say citizens can't be in a certain place? Because we talk about ICE all the time.
Mhm.
And that's a country thing where it comes to deportation and stuff like that. Now, how are we gonna go into segregate neighborhoods? Like, are you gonna get somebody that can actually remove you from a neighborhood? Like, it's a lot that can come from that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
The biggest issue with that is that you live in a segregated space where you create this bubble of and you grow humans there that believe that this bubble is the only way that the world should work when everywhere else in the United States of America and in its foundings it is completely against and it is the exact opposite of segregation. It's actually um, the United States was built upon inclusion. Even though the founders were racist, they had enough smarts and intelligence to say, okay, we need to build this in a smart way because we're becoming a community outside of the monarchy. And so we're going to set these proper rules so that we include and we are diverse and we bring all ideas and all people to the table. And when you separate yourself from the table and believe it or not, people will travel outside of Arkansas. And so when you grow up in Arkansas and you experience it in the 2 states away, now you have put yourself in a situation where that person that only lived in that bubble walks outside of the bubble and knows nothing of the world. They could put themselves in a dangerous situation, understanding that, hey, what I was taught here was absolutely wrong and absolutely false. And when you try to do that, you make it more harder for the rest of the United States to actually live out the true fulfillment of the dream of what was built upon, right? You just create your own section and think that it's okay. And this is why
Well,
we have the issues that we have.
well, on a serious note too, like it's crazy how like Shanae told me before. I think she was talking to me about how certain states are really off and behind. Like,
Mhm,
you'd be surprised how certain states still have certain things go on, in states that we've never been to down south. You know what I mean? Like Arkansas, like Mississippi and places like that. Like there's still certain, like, not necessarily I'm trying to think how I could say it, like ideologies. You know
mhm.
what I'm saying? There's certain things, not necessarily laws, but the way people carry themselves. I've heard stories told that like it still exists down south. You know what I'm saying?
No, by
Just
all
out of
means.
just out of the fact that it's been like that for hundreds of years.
Mhm,
So they still live off of that. So for you to have a neighborhood to where it's just white only, that's not even like anti a specific race. That's just saying we ain't rocking with nobody else.
mhm.
And like it's weird to see that in 2025, but it's just like damn, history repeats itself. And how could that be sustainable? And again, what are you trying to accomplish from that? But if Arkansas allows something like that to happen, I don't want to ever go to Arkansas, and I don't see how that's going to help, a whole state and a state's economy. So we'll see how that goes, man. But I thought that was wild when you sent it to me. I'm not surprised, but there's definitely a lot of people getting real bold again.
The idea of segregation and the issue with this one place doing it is that people will then think it's okay to continue to do it in other places. And all it is doing is revisiting the ugliest parts of our nation's history, right? It's saying that okay, we don't want to mingle or we don't want to talk to anybody that's outside of what we believe in. And when we talk about growing as a community, as a country, when you don't listen to other people just because you don't agree, well, you get nowhere. You get
Right.
nowhere fast. They're not even agreeing with other whites. They're saying, you're not white enough. So no, you can't live here. That's dangerous.
Wow.
That becomes now we're talking about cult. Right now,
Yeah.
we're talking about a cult. Now we're talking about a sect of people that's saying you can only do this way, you can only believe this way, you can only talk this way, you can only teach your kids this way. And so that becomes dangerous. And this is why this is what the amendments were for, to make sure that these cults don't exist and grow and cultivate and create a different, come against the government sooner or later.
We just talk about common sense type stuff, man. And it's not political. It's not like something you got to be afraid to talk about. What's going around in the world today. It's 2025, man. And like, what are we talking about? And if you just joined us, it's the All Dressed Up podcast. We're live. It's been a while, but it's Sunday night. Hey, Dizzle DC still in the building. Have Streams are still here. Text 301-857-1757. We got people that download our series out in like Iceland, man, different countries. People that checking us out. If you miss us live, you can always, listen to a recorded episode. So don't make no excuses, man. So
shout out to Tokyo.
Hey, Dizzle, man, you quarterbacking, man.
Downloads there. So look, let's get to
Jalen Hurts, man. I want to talk about, man. Before we get into, I'm gonna step in. It's some interesting times right now, man. It's back to school, man. It's back to school, man. And I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna go ahead and take the next step tonight and talk about back to school. K Dozer came up with the show runner, great topics. In between sports and our deep dive, are you ready for back to school? Are your kids ready to go back to school? What do you look forward to around this time of the year? Are you happy to get rid of those damn kids, man? They drive you crazy. Now you get at least a half a day where they can go learn, get some education. I'm gonna tell you, I'm doing back to school shopping now, Kate Dizzle. I got a 7-year-old. My 3-year-old's not quite there yet. But the school supply list feels like you're getting supplies for the whole damn school. I'm like, goodness gracious, why does my child need 6 packs of tissue, 7 boxes of glue sticks, 5 packages of colored pencils? I mean, we're buying for the whole year on the first list, man.
Yeah.
But they need it. It's all about the kids. It's all about that.
It's all about the kids. It's all about the different periods. We need parents to supply the school supplies for all of our kids for the entire year. You're absolutely right. It's just the way that it's been for.
You gotta get Starbucks gift card. I saw a Starbucks gift card on the school supply. Goddamn teacher need a coffee and
12-month Netflix membership popped in there too. Look,
yeah, man.
Yeah. So am I ready for back to school? Hell yeah. Mine are getting older. Ready? Hell no. I got some braiding hair over here on the left right now. You can't see it. They off camera, but they're getting ready and it's coming up in a couple of days. But the good news is I haven't seen any crazy back to school stuff. I don't want to see these big kids with these baby backpacks on their back. Yeah, I need to stop that. Kids that was doing
some of big kids with baby backpacks.
Yeah, big kids with baby backpacks. Talking about he 173 months old. No, don't do that. Stop. Cut that out.
What the hell you putting in that little ass bag?
But it's coming. I'm getting close to the latter end. My youngest is going to the 10th. Next one's going to the 11th, and so we'll be out of that soon. Hopefully, prayerfully. But yeah, it's back to school season. It's always exciting.
Damn, so you got your baby girl. Your baby girls is almost in college, getting ready to go to their college years, and mine are just embarking on elementary school. Man, I tell you, man, and school is not the same. I'm nervous. I'm really nervous, but got to get with it. Gotta stick with the times. And I wonder, if the kids feel the same way we used to feel about back to school. I remember when, I used to go get my outfits and I used to go back to school shopping, right? And I used to get all fresh, get my, my shoes, my shirts, and I didn't want to wear everything the first week. You wanted to kind of at least leave 3 good outfits back. I started worrying about my clothes when I was probably like in the 8th grade. When you start caring about what you wore, mine was like the 8th grade.
I wish I had the opportunity to care about my clothes. Like my mother was like, we had a strict, it's a lot of us. So we had a strict budget. We had a certain amount that you could spend for back to school clothes, and I never forget, like one year I had like 2 pair of jeans for the entire year.
That's some real stuff.
2 pair of jeans for the entire year. That was back in the days. My mother used to work. She used to buy the whole color outfit. So she bought me a green shirt. She found some green jeans. She bought me a brown shirt. She found some brown jeans. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
Hey, you wasn't coordinating nothing outside of that one color. Oh, yeah, the
Nope.
outfit.
Nope. It was like
What's
monochrome.
your brown outfit?
This is
It's
the
a blue outfit.
this is a Montgomery Ward special. That's how old it was. It was
Man,
like
that's hilarious.
green, brown, blue. And so if my jeans got a hole in it, everybody knew because I wear it 3 times a week. And it wasn't the difference. But I think kids do things a lot different now. They don't even iron their clothes no more. I know that I put it in there. They just get up and they go to school in pajama pants and pajamas and Crocs and just be cool with it. They don't
They
even
look
I
like
don't
they go to school in airplane clothes.
clothes anymore. Huh?
They go to school in airplane clothes.
Yeah, they
They
go to
about to
school.
catch a fight. They go to school with the neck rolls. They go to school and they ready to take a nap.
They already sleep. They have sleep. They get there. It's just different, and so I don't think the pressure is there like we used to want to look good and feel good. Um, I know in high school, I'm telling my age. In high school, the females had pair of Sucos, and the dudes you had to have a pair of Tims. You had to
Yeah.
have a pair of Tims, and
You think kids still care about fashion now? Or you think they kind of fell back off of brands and people being in style? I don't really know. I'm not connected. I don't really have any teenagers around me, man. I don't know if
let
it's
me
how
ask
it
you a
used to
question.
be.
Y'all care about fashion? Yes, you do care about
Do
fashion.
people still get like made fun
Still
of for
care?
fashion?
Like name brand stuff too. Okay, the people care. They do care about fashion. They care about name brand. The people,
Do people still get joned on when they go back to
Prada,
school?
whatever, Prada, Gucci. They got on Gucci slippers. All the boys wearing tight jeans.
Hey, Dizzle, ask them, do kids still get joned on for wearing like not the right things in school?
Like P said, yeah, you had to be fresh back in the day. They still care about it a little bit. I guess it's a sec. I don't know because I always see when I pull up to the high school, everybody got on sweatpants or
Yeah,
the,
I
or the
don't
black
see,
and
I
red
don't
checker
see,
pajama
I don't
pants
see
from
young
Walmart.
as yeah, K Dizzle. I don't see young as that fresh now.
Uh-huh.
I don't see him that fresh now to be going hard. Like back when we was in
Like
school,
I said,
yeah.
it might just be a certain like certain section of like, all right, I gotta have this, I gotta have the Jordan, the Air Force Ones or whatever that's hot at the time. But I just see pajama pants. I'd be like, what's really good?
Man, I got to the point where I was in high school. If I ain't have a fresh outfit, I ain't going to school. I ain't going to school that day. If I wasn't feeling my outfit, and you talk about iron, man, I was ironing my clothes, like I said, 8th, 9th grade.
For sure.
These kids coming out the house with their hoodies. Michael Stewart said a lot of
A
schools
lot
have
of school uniforms now.
High schools,
No, I think it's only how many high schools is it in
you
DC?
probably got like 3 high schools
Like
that
three or
got
four,
uniforms.
3 high schools that have uniforms.
Middle schools got uniforms. Mike's right
Some
about
middle
that.
schools do.
I hated uniforms. I
I
hated
never
uniforms.
experienced uniform life.
We had that navy blue and white color scheme in PG County when I had uniforms, and I wear my blue and white Jordans. I never forget they coordinate real good.
Shoes
But
had to be fresh though.
you had to have your fresh school shoes, man. And don't wear your school shoes out to play because you get your ass whooped. I'm gonna tell you right now, Mama Heifer in the chat right now, she'll tell me, take them damn shoes off, change them damn shoes.
Change them shoes before you go out.
Change them damn shoes. It's the full words. Because I love to play ball in my good shoes, man. And as soon as you try to sneak and play ball in your good Jordans, you get them scuffed. You can never make it home without messing them up. And it's always a scuff you can't wash off either. It's like, what the fuck? How did it do this?
Yeah.
Like, man,
Yeah, you had ketchup and mustard on your shirt, and they served pizza that day. I don't know what was wrong with your life. So P says, no, they throw on anything. It was a requirement for us, and now the girls don't care what they wear, so it don't matter. You
that's a
wasn't
good
fresh
point.
back in the day. You got no rap. I will agree. If you wasn't fresh back in the day, if you wasn't, that A list, that top tier, you got a little less conversation. It's still the same. My girls just told me, yeah, it's still the same. They still do care. I think
It's
it's more so like it. The only way you tell now, because it's got to be spelled out on the shirt, or it's got
you
to
know,
be that Burberry
you know,
pattern, or
you know what
whatever.
I want to ask. I want to ask you this too. Your girl still in the background?
Yeah, go ahead.
So since we talking about back to school, it's not just about fashion. It's about going back to school. You're supposed to be learning stuff, but also when you go back to school, that's when you're supposed to be social. So let me ask you this question: how social is school now when it comes to the cafeteria, when it comes to homeroom, when it comes to gym? Are phones like as heavy in school like they are in the public? Like when you go out in the world and you see people not as social because everybody's in their phone. But back in the day when we was in school, it would be like 30 of us at the lunch table, all talking about like the episode of Chappelle Show the night
Right.
before. Is that the same dynamic now in school, or are all kids kind of walking around to themselves on their devices and stuff? That's what I want to know.
No, I would say it's still the same dynamic. Kids are still talking to each other, talking on their phones. I think there is a different element that we're not even talking about. Um, the element of I'll give you an example. If anything happens that's embarrassing at school, like it happens where the people see it, right?
Yeah.
In that small section, and then it gets word out, gets to the school, right? But it only goes for so far.
Yeah.
I think in this day and age, let's say you get into a fight and you get your ass whipped.
It's all televised.
It's gonna be on TikTok, it's gonna be on IG, it's gonna be wherever they are, it's gonna be on Snapchat. And now you could go viral for all the wrong reasons and all the wrong things. So
Man,
a lot
could
more
you
at
could,
stake.
could you imagine being in school with Instagram and you DMing anybody and everybody that you can about
Problems.
anything?
Problems, sir. We are thankful not
Man,
to have that back in the day because there were so many unfiltered situations I don't even want to discuss because
I wonder what your kids think about the fact that we didn't have that in school. I wonder what they think about us not having social media while we were in school.
they just
They,
think
they
we old.
probably think it's wild.
No, they just think we old. That's it. You
Like, what
gotta
did they do to communicate?
you got to remember, the first real social media site outside of it was Black Planet. Black
Bro,
Planet was the
social
first place.
media was after school at 3 o'clock.
Time
We
out,
meeting right here.
time out, sir. Time out, sir. We're not going to go to back to school. We're going to talk about this, okay? BlackPlanet.com came out, and Black people learned how to code on the fly.
Yeah,
We did not know what we were doing.
yeah.
We went out. We was like, all right, how can I make this page live and uncut? You had friends,
Put
right?
your song on there.
And that would cause controversy when you went to school next day because somebody would be out of your top friends. Some people learn how to code and had diamonds and sparkles coming on their page with Maxwell in the background
Yeah.
and some other crazy stuff. And then you had other videos and stuff popping up. So that was our social media. It was a web page, and you had comments on this web page.
But just imagine the level of, I don't know, man. Maybe you had to be there. Like whenever you put everybody in one room, that was a time to where it was like social media live.
Yeah,
Like when we finally got like, that day where we had like a day where everybody was in gym for that conference or whatever. Now you got the people that you don't have classes with that you get to share time with. That was the funnest, the most craziest days
yeah.
because now everybody's there, everybody's talking. But now it's like they can communicate all day long. Start that shit and just get it going in a circle as fast as ever.
It's different. Back to school is definitely different than what it was before. But again, let me put a PS out there, guys. If your kid is in the seventh, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth grade, and he has a backpack, he or she has a backpack that only reaches half of their back,
It's
please
not a
buy them a new one,
it's not
or,
a backpack.
or buy them a satchel, or buy them a man purse, a woman purse, or whatever. Don't put them baby backpacks on thinking it's cute because it
Where you
looks.
seeing these baby backpacks that got you all riled up, man?
I don't know. I get heated over that because it looked like it'd be choking
But they
in.
just small. They're like small in width that don't cover their back.
No, it's the ones with the straps where they make their chest pop out like this, and they need help getting it off. But but look,
And their arms be short.
shout out to the back to school squad, man. If you got little ones, big ones, or medium sized ones, make sure you take care of your kids. Don't set them up from the first day. Give them some gum. Make sure they got chapstick, all that other good stuff. And yeah, celebrate it. Celebrate it because these
And
years fly by.
and don't be no cruddy ass parent and send your kids back to school with raggedy ass clothes. It's 2025, man. Don't do that to them.
Look,
Don't put
don't,
them in that position, man.
life be life, and don't shame those folks.
I'm
Don't
not
shame
shaming them, but if you can choose, choose better for your kids, man.
All right, so look, last thing on the topics, okay? Because I know we spent the hell of time in back to school. I don't know why that was a sore spot, but
It
look,
was funny, man. It was good
it
talk.
was hilarious. Look, have you gone? Have you gone? And this is an important conversation. Have you gone into? Well, I know you're in Baltimore, so you don't go to DC.
Man, I'm getting
Okay.
videos. I'm getting the videos
You're
though.
getting the videos though, right? You're getting the
Yeah.
videos. All right. So I want to say this DC hostile takeover.
It's
I
over,
have
man.
chosen to stay away from the city
It's over.
since the hostile takeover purposefully. I used to randomly take my girls down to DC into different parts and frolic. And my daughter just asked me the other day, was like, why don't we go back downtown? No, we're not
Because
doing
I
that.
don't want to get my ass whooped
We are
by the
too
law.
brown. We are too brown, and it is too much going on down there. Okay. How are
DC is over, man.
say what?
DC is over, man.
What do you mean?
DC that we know it is over. And I'm telling you, you can't really go back to the DC that we know. Like if we were to take people who've never been to DC that we know growing up, we couldn't give them the same experience. You
Mm,
know, they really changed the city. I don't really know about the real deep parts of the hood, but anywhere else, like the culture's really changed.
mm,
Doesn't have the same vibe. Chocolate City ain't Chocolate City anymore. You know, they built up over the not to say, you know, you can't improve the hood, but like they built over top and they got little girls walking poodles now at midnight in Southeast. Like it's different, man. And then now, like I saw a video the other day where they had police walking around talking about Trump wants to shake people down. You know, they want in front porches, you know, saying if they smell weed, they locking people up. They
well,
doing this and doing that.
but they can't come on the porch. If you're outside of the porch, then yeah, they can.
But
But
they was talking to them, yeah, oh, yeah, through the porch. It's getting wild, man.
yeah, I still got a lot of friends that live in the city. I grew up in the city. I love my city. I would love to move back, but it's a little crazy. And it's not conducive to anything that I'm about right now. It's DC has always been changing. DC has been gentrifying over the years. There are a lot of people that are fighting to keep some of the heritage and the historic parts of the city to remain the same. With that being said, there are some changes that are more than welcomed. Investments more than welcome. The issue is when you create these investments, you create them only for certain people to afford them. Anacostia is not Anacostia that you used to be. That's a good and a bad thing. The only place that's still, I would say, is still kind of rough, regardless of who's down there, whether it be ICE, whether it be some federal agents, or
In
whether
a
it be
row.
masked men masquerading as federal agents, is Minnesota Avenue. I still don't see them going down Minnesota Avenue like that. And DC has been rough in certain areas. So we're aware of that. And so it hasn't been like it hasn't been in the downtrend. It has now become a political thing where you bring these people in and they start policing with people who don't or who haven't been trained to do that type of policing work. You know what I'm saying? I've seen all the videos where they go in and people are just at a park and they're going through people's stuff at a park. That's an invasion of privacy. That's an invasion of rights. Um, they're being recorded on it, and it's definitely not a good thing.
It's a
Definitely not.
culture change. It's an attempt to change the culture, like I'm saying. And like what it is, you know, when this whole stadium gets rebuilt and they put in all this new housing, what type of housing do you think it's gonna be? You know, it's not gonna be housing that the average person that used to be able to live in DC can afford. You know, I think that that's going to be the final cherry on top. Like we're excited for the new stadium to come to DC. It's a great nostalgic moment for the Redskins and everything, but with that is going to come a whole level of change. You know, different laws, different level of policing, different rent levels, different, you know, housing status. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot to pay for that stadium.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the beginning stages, in my opinion, Kendra. What I'm getting to is, I think that, what the police are doing and what the government's doing is just early framework for an ultimate change.
No, it's a show of force, and it's an illegal show of force, and they are trying to treat the symptom, and they're not getting at the heart and the root of the disease, which is community investment, and it is educate investments in education, investments in after school activities, investment into the local community, so that people don't go down the wrong paths. It is tried and proven, and Baltimore is a great example of that. You don't need more police. You need more community activation and community investment.
Right.
And if you want to bring about systemic change, this is not about bringing systemic change. This is a show of force on American soil, which is completely uncalled for. And if we continue to be okay with this, then it just opens the door. It's just like Arkansas. If we say it's okay here, then if they bring it again and do it in a way that infringes upon the rights of us as citizens later on, imagine if they tried to move this into Prince George's County. Imagine how that would go.
A little
Right.
bit more difficult at this point.
Imagine how that would go if they try to do it in Prince George's County, which if we're already trying to do it in DC, then we're going to try to do it in other places, right? And we're doing it in places in which communities of color are residing. And so you just have to pay attention. You just have to be aware, and you just have to raise your voice and be vocal about it and say it's not okay. And so I don't go in DC as much. The hostile takeover is exactly that. It's keeping people out. And they're doing it purposefully. So we just got to be mindful, stay active, not only in our own communities, but pay attention to what's going on outside of it and what's close to us and neighbors. So look, I just give this recommendation of everybody. If you do go in the city, just be safe. Just be safe and stay out of the way. Even if you try to stay out of the way, there's still some people that they're still trying to make it difficult for you.
I don't even got any business anymore in the city for real. Like I don't go to the clubs and lounges anymore. I don't have any friends that live down in DC anymore. It's crazy. It just seemed like over time, PG County just filled up. Everybody just filled it out.
hmm
PG, Charles, Montgomery County. But like I said, man, we're gonna see how it's gonna go, especially when that stadium gets built.
That's going to be the kicker. Well, we 5 years away from that, bro.
Still, but this is the framework, like I'm saying.
hmm
Once you start talking about people walking down the street, shaking you down again in DC and Southeast, talking about get off your front, do this, do that. Like, it's 2025. What are we talking about?
The only piece,
That's their street.
the only police in certain areas. That's
Yeah.
just the truth. The only police in certain areas, and we already know what it is. So look, go ahead and start giving us the feel on the outro, man. So because I usually carry it.
Nah, look, man. Hey, K Dizzle DC was back and better than ever. The All Dressed Up podcast ain't lost its step, man. We do this live, man. Live on Sundays. We try to do it the first and third Sunday. You can find ADU podcasts all over your socials: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can find K Dizzle DC as well, all on YouTube, all on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. He's streaming. I think he's getting back in the gaming. What say you?
Yes,
K?
sir. Yes,
Gaming again?
sir.
Check them out. And the Climbback series, man. Hef Streams Media is everywhere. We ain't going nowhere. I want people to think that we stopped because we just revamped and we got a whole bunch of episodes loaded up. Keep an eye out for that. And don't forget to email us, man, at alldressedupodcast@gmail.com. Look how fluid that was, man. Everything's just like this. We don't lose a step. I don't care how many weeks it's been. We love y'all, man. Shout out to all the day ones, everybody that came through in the chat to support us today. Big P, Mike, enough said. Shanae, my baby, mom, I love you. Sal, you always talking that shit. We love you. Arizona, the day one, supreme. But I gotta say again, rest in peace, London Fall. Much love to the Loaded Snacks crew.
Loaded Snacks,
our condolences are with y'all, man.
Talk
Love
to
your
y'all.
family.
Love y'all, man. We'll see y'all in a week or so.
And you know, and I know, and they know, 'cause we we know, we go all in, you know. I know, they know.